then I'm flying on the airplane. The dude's sitting across from me, literally within 10 rows every direction. You could smell this stinky motherfucker. I'm pretty much just over travel. In this video, I'm going to give you 5, maybe a few more reasons why I may be done with traveling. What's up, guys? It's Greeny from Greeny Travels. Maybe it'll be Greeny something else in the near future. Greeny Rants. That may be the new channel. But it's almost the end of the year. Oh, and by the way, I'm traveling. I made it to a destination. That's part of the issue. I'm going to talk to you guys about it. I think I'm almost done. I mean, like, I'm over it. I think I'm almost over it. Like, it's getting so hard. And I don't know if, like, the poor customer service in the travel industry is just like a microcosm of, like, everything going on in the world, especially, like, America. I mean, customer service is just out the window. Well, it's almost the end of the year, so I'm kind of going to do a little year in review because it kind of hasn't been my best travel year. I mean, my goal is to, go on at least a trip every month. I'm basing in near Jomtien, and I'm pretty close to the Rayong Utapao airport, and that's kind of why I bought there, even though they still haven't introduced all the flights there. Like, I can't fly everywhere I want to. So I'm in Chiang Rai right now, and had to fly out of Don Muang Airport, which is a pain in the ass. I mean, it really is, just to get to, the traffic, the parking. We had to park so far and walk. But let's get into this a little bit. I'm gonna let you know what just happened. I mean, this last month of travel has been kind of pure hell. I mean, a pain in the ass. Terrible customer service, like I said. But let's go back a little bit. Let's go back. So about a year ago, we'll start there. I took a trip to Malaysia and stayed at a very nice hotel, like 5-star. 5-star, one of my go-tos in the group. I usually use the IHG group, and one of their finer establishments, like 5-star, one of their nicer ones. I rented a room there for, I think I was like 3 or 4 nights in Kuala Lumpur. And I get to my room, and they put me up like 21st floor, somewhere up pretty high, and it stunk. Like, the whole hallway, the whole floor smelled like mildew. And I stayed in this room one night, and literally, like, I woke up with my eyes burning a little bit the next day. And I know exactly what they did. Like they're just slowly going higher in this hotel since COVID, opening up new floors. So I'll guarantee you this floor had been closed off for a long, long time. And you can just tell it, just because I've smelled that before. It just was all mildew. So I go downstairs, get the manager, bring him up to my floor, and I'm like, dude, what's up with the smell up here? I mean, this is terrible. And he's like, oh, wow. Oh. I'm like, are you kidding? Like, you didn't clean the carpets? You didn't do anything to alleviate the smell? Like, don't tell me that nobody that works here, didn't know about the smell on this floor, and then you're going to put customers up here without fixing it in a 5-star hotel. So they switched me to another room, and, that problem was taken care of. But it's like, what the fuck are you guys thinking? And I complained, I'm like, this stinks. You guys owe me some points. You should give me some points. Put some points. Okay, yeah, we'll see what we can do. He said he'll email me, whatever. Never heard from him. Never got any points, nothing, just not good, not good. So that one, where else have I flown this year? I went to Phu Quoc, Vietnam. No issues there. Really nice place, no issues. Everything's kind of going good. And I took a trip to Hong Kong and Taiwan. I don't know if you've been watching my channel for a while, but this is a big one where I had a problem with that airline. And apparently my middle name wasn't on the ticket, on my credit card, whatever. It's just first and last name. Their app only asks for first and last name. Apparently I was supposed to know that in the first name spot I had to put my first and middle name. Well, they tried to charge me like $45 just to add my middle name. And this was only when I was leaving Hong Kong. I was going to Taiwan. Leaving Hong Kong for Taiwan. And I'm like, it wasn't an issue when I got here. It wasn't an issue when I flew here. Well, here in Hong Kong, everything has to be exact. I'm like, well, it doesn't say middle name. You know, here's the app. It only says first and last name. You know, that's my middle name. Whatever. I'm like, they wouldn't let me fly. So they charged me the money. I called my credit card. Credit card disputed it, and they charged it back to them. I didn't have to pay for that. A few people have asked me about that, so there's the follow-up on that one. Another thing with their airline, there's an issue with the ticketing when you do a multi-trip and you go to put your second date, the computer changes it back to your first. So I had an issue with that too. I disputed that with my credit card company too and sent them a copy of the video because I showed them how this works. I videotaped, there's a video on this too in the past. But anyways, I got my money back from that one. Flew to Taiwan. Without an international driver's license, I couldn't rent a motorbike anywhere in Taiwan, so that kind of sucked. Whatever, come home. I don't know. I know I went to some other locations around Thailand, did some different things, but the big trip was in August. Flew to America, and you guys know that's a long flight. It sucks, and I had a bunch of running around to do. Got home, got poison ivy, blah, blah, blah. That's all documented. But I took a flight from Detroit to Tampa, and people say, well, you shouldn't be so cheap. You should sit in first class. Well, this time I actually did pay extra. They don't call it first class. It was Spirit, which is cheap as hell, but I did pay for the big front seat. So just me and a guy next to me, it's like their version of first class. Well, 3 days later, I'm sick as a dog, you know. People coughing in the back of the flight. They weren't even coughing by me, but I got sick. You know, I was sick as fuck. Really, really sick. Oh, by the way, when I got back from Malaysia, that first trip, yeah, about 2 days after my flight, I was sick as a dog from that too. It's about 50-50 for me when I fly somewhere that I'm gonna catch a cold, catch a sickness, get an upper respiratory deal. You know, that happens all the time, about 50-50. And I've talked to a lot of other guys that travel a lot, you know, same type of thing. My buddy Charles, he just got back to America. He said about a day and a half after he got off his flight, sick as a dog again, upper respiratory. I drove somewhere, drove to Virginia, flew from Virginia to Nashville. The most terrifying flight I was ever on. You know, just flying sucks. I need like my own drone so I can go places or something. My own, you know, flying device so I can be by myself. And no, I can't afford my own Cessna. Eventually I make it back to Thailand. That whole trip to America, I got back in September, and it took a lot out of me. I mean, I rested for a month or so before I even attempted to go anywhere. Did a little bit of running around, maybe drove some places. I drove up to Isan, did a little bit of travel. I can't remember everything, but had a big trip planned to Bali. Had this planned for months. Well, I'm sure you guys, if you've been watching a while, you see that there was that volcano. My flight was canceled. That was over a month ago. I'm still waiting for my refund. Like at the airport, they're like, oh, we can give you a credit. You know, you can get a refund. It'll take longer. And, you know, now it's like, there's no guarantee of my refund. I don't know. They give me a case number. I've already been there 3 times at the airport talking to them at the counter. It's like, oh, well, you didn't check AirAsia only. So it goes through a travel agency, which, you know, I know damn well it's a big umbrella company. You know, you got the travel agency, you got AirAsia. It's all the same friggin' company. They play these little shell games, you know. So if I would have just checked AirAsia only on their app, the AirAsia Move app, then everything would have been expedited. It wouldn't have been a problem. But since it was, I got to wait for my refund if I get it. I'm like, well, forget the refund. Just give me a credit. You know, well, you already asked for a refund and now we're doing it. It could take up to 90 days. I mean, how hard is it? You know, they'd love to take your money, but when you ask for your money back, it's difficult. And by the way, I was at the airport 11 hours that day just waiting to catch this flight. And they never sent me an email saying that the flight was, you know, ultimately canceled. I didn't find out till I went to check in. You know, it was like delayed like 7 hours. I go to check in. That's when I had found out that the flight was canceled. So that was another shitty trip. You know, I ended up going to Krabi. I had to pay for that flight. They wouldn't even let me change it. Like, oh, this flight's canceled, but no, you can't change it. You got to wait 90 days for your refund, but you can pay to get a different flight, which I did because I was already packed and ready to go somewhere. Then I'm flying on the airplane. The dude's sitting across from me, literally within 10 rows every direction. You could smell this stinky mother. Here comes the ultimate kicker. All right. I got a couple things I got to do in Bangkok. One was on the 10th, one's on the 14th. So I'm like, I'm already in Bangkok and I don't want to stay in Bangkok. I want to go somewhere different. So I'm like, well, you know, we'll go to Chiang Rai. So That was yesterday. I go online to book my ticket, and this is so fucked. I lost my friggin' mind, guys. I lost my friggin' mind. And I booked a ticket, round trip to Chiang Rai, about, for two of us, like 345 US dollars. So when I'm booking on the app, it's 345 US dollars. I check out everything, and when I went to check out, it changed the currency to Malaysian ringgit or something. That's where AirAsia is based out of. That's their main headquarters. So whatever. But as I'm going through this process, you know, it said 345 US dollars. Well, I pay for the flight, confirm everything. I had to put an SMS code in. Boom. Then ding, I get a little alert from Bank of America every time I do a charge. $2,750. AirAsia. I'm like, what the fuck? And let me tell you, you can't call them. They don't have a number to call. You have to go on their app and chat with Bo. That's their automated bullshit guy. And, you know, I'm typing in and explaining, and then it says, thank you for your feedback. Like, I wasn't asking for any feedback. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, why I was just charged so much money. Well, we were on the road, so I'm like, I mean, I gotta tell you guys, I lost my fucking mind. I was so fucking pissed. I'm like, take me to the airport. So we go to Suvarnabhumi. We weren't maybe an hour away, and we were driving towards Bangkok. So it wasn't that far out of the way, but it was out of the way. And by the time I ended up getting in there and dealing with the customer service people at AirAsia, it turned out to, you know, be an hour or two waste of my life. They could not explain to me why this charge was out. It's a mistake. We don't know why that happened. It should have been, and they're talking in baht now. So the app said US dollars. The checkout was in ringgit, and they're saying, oh, they overcharged you 27,000 baht. I'm like, yeah, no shit. Why? We don't know. We don't know why. Then I'm like, well, they say, okay, it'll probably take 45 days to go back on your credit card. I'm like, wait a second. You guys fuck up, take my money, and then it's 45 days to go back on my credit card? How the fuck is that? Like, what type of bullshit is that? And then I want documentation. Oh, we don't have a printer. We don't have any documentation. You know, it just was a mistake. You'll get the money back. I'm like, so right now there's a $2,700 charge on my credit card, but you're verbally telling me I'm going to get it back. Well, they sent me some stuff. I ended up redoing the same itinerary that I had and doing screenshots showing it was $345 or whatever. And so I have it, and they did call me later and say, yeah, you're going to get a refund. You know, no problem. We made a mistake. They can't understand how this happened. I'm thinking like, well, if I didn't have this automatic alert on my credit card, would have I even noticed it? Are they hoping that, I don't want to say they're doing it on purpose, but, you know, I'm still waiting for my $600 from a month ago from my Bali trip. So, all right, whatever. They called me, said I'm going to get the money. Then they sent me an email later, said we're expediting things. You should have your refund within 2 weeks. Like, how hard is it to friggin' charge back my credit card? But whatever, you know. Then I'm flying on the airplane. The dude's sitting across from me, literally within 10 rows every direction. You could smell this stinky motherfucker. This guy fucking stunk. Usually, I've been around people like this before on, you know, traveling. Dude, I mean, people were just like, this was the worst BO I've smelled in so long. So anyways, yeah, I mean, I'm getting old. People annoy me now. Inconveniences annoy me. I like hanging out at my condo in Thailand. I like my pool. The stress level's low. I can relax. You know, I love traveling. I love seeing new places. I mean, look at this. It's a beautiful resort here, beautiful pool in Chiang Rai, 8.9. The bed was perfect, but getting here, a pain in the ass. I mean, and I can guarantee you there's probably like 6 other things, you know, 6 other reasons, 6 other things that happen throughout the year that I just can't even think of right now. But you can see I'm flowing a little bit. I mean, this is, have you guys ever had bad travel experiences like that? Have you ever had like 5 in a year like me? 6, you know, different things that just accumulate that make you say like, is it worth it? I don't know. You know, I got a car. I think I'm going to start just going to drive around, like go to Koh Chang or something, you know, take my car places, because, you know, just the customer service lately. Another airline I had a problem with, this is a third different airline. I'm typing in, booking a flight for Charles, and I must not have put his last name in, and it self-populated the same last name as me. You know, I put Charles, whatever, the last name is over on the right side. I must have forgot to put his last name in. I noticed it as soon as I check out, call them immediately. This company does take phone calls. Oh no, anything more than 2 letters wrong, you got to book another flight. You know, you messed up. I'm like, yeah, I did mess up, but I never did type my name in. It self-populated that, same as my name. But just, they're so tight. And the customers, what happened to, I mean, I remember back in the day, if you mess up, like, you could call them, they'd fix it, like, you know, honest mistakes. Like, they're not trying to gouge the customer up. You fucked up just a little bit. We're going to stick it to you. You're fucked. It's getting real old, guys. It's getting real old, you know. I fucking love traveling, but, you know, welcome to the new channel, Greeny's Tribulations, Greeny's Rank, Greeny against the world. Anyways, Greeny out. If you enjoyed the video, make sure you subscribe. Maybe just more sitting on my ass, true crime, talking about corporate America, greed, and terrible customer service. Greeny out.